Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. And my oh my, what a start to the week we have seen so far. What seems like just yesterday was actually just over a week ago. Monday, July 29th, the price of Bitcoin on the Coinbase exchange hit a high of $70,000. And just 1 week later, Monday, August 5th, the price of Bitcoin hit a low of $49,000, a $21,000 price decrease, or a 30% drop. And this is really the biggest volatility to the downside we have seen in not just the crypto market, but all markets since 2020. So what actually caused this, and why is this happening, and what should you do? Well, first of all, I think it goes without saying, if you've been in crypto, whether this is your first cycle, your second, third, fourth, whatever, times like these it's important to have strong hands. And that does sound very cliche, but it's very, very true, because the worst times to sell are at times of capitulation. And this, especially with this wick, this is what I classify as capitulation. So it goes without saying, it's an ironclad crypto rule. Hold on to your assets, especially in times of capitulation. So what caused this? Well, I wouldn't say it's anything related to crypto, which leads me to believe there's no reason we should be worried about the state of this bull market. But what actually did go ahead and cause this is some geopolitical turmoil, especially between what's happening Iran and Israel in the Middle East. Essentially, that conflict is escalating, and it's a very interesting and kind of fickle time right now with the market, because essentially the market priced in my opinion, war between those two nations over in the Middle East. However, there is the chance of some kind of escalation, okay? So with that being said, there's a decent chance this was the bottom over here when we tagged $49,000 just here. However, if we are to see some more escalation, this yearly open is sitting nice and untagged down here at $42,000 for Bitcoin. And also, this is our next very obvious level of support down here, $42,000 to 40K. So, long story short, geopolitical turmoil, a temporary, and that's a very important word, temporary kind of risk off scenario we're seeing right now. I do think this is temporary, and I'm not worried about the state of the bull market, and I'll explain that in this video, so be sure to stick with me until the very end. But just to summarize this, it is a temporary risk off liquidity flush out, and there's really been no structural changes to the market, or more importantly, the global liquidity cycle, which has a direct correlation with risk on assets like Bitcoin. So overall, pretty decent chance bottoms in down here at 49,000, but I really wouldn't be shocked, especially in the month of August, to see a final kind of capitulation flush out to the yearly open on Bitcoin. Now, something like ETH, right, tagged the yearly open. Solana did not, right? Solana's yearly open is down here at 100, and that would be a crazy discount value for Solana. Solana has really shown itself over the past 2 days in this recovery to be the go-to asset out of the majors, right? It's really outperforming Ethereum at this moment in time. Now, yes, there is a crazy geopolitical event happening in the world right now, and that's a big reason of why this huge crypto drop happened. But again, this is not a crypto specific event. This is related to all markets, stock market, etc. Well, there is another thing that just happened, and really every single year this has been an indicator of a crash, and that is the Bitcoin conference. I've never seen anybody else talk about this. This is something that I've observed now for the past few years, and let me just explain. So basically, I went ahead and I asked Coursel, which is BitTensor Tao's language learning model, and I asked them what the dates of the Bitcoin conferences were over the past 4 years, 2021 to 2024. And I want to show you this because it is very, very interesting. And it's literally, the Bitcoin conference is basically a curse. So Bitcoin conference, June 4th and 5th, 2021. Here you can see June 4th. At this point, Bitcoin was range bound and very choppy over here in the spring, summer of 2021. After that initial all-time high in the bull market at $64,000. However, nonetheless, Bitcoin conference start date, price is up here at 39,200. And over the next 4 days, price went ahead and dropped 21%. All right, so that's 2021. Moving on, 2022. You really cannot make it up 2022, if you guys recall, we had that bounce up to 48,000, and then we got sent to the gulag down here. We went ahead and saw the bear market lows at 15,500 Bitcoin, but you really can't make it up. The Bitcoin conference, April 6th through 9th. April 6th, the start day of the conference, is when we actually broke through that local support area and started the descent to the bear market low. All right, Bitcoin conference date. 2023, a bit underwhelming. At this moment in time, the market was very choppy and slow. Anyways, it started on the 18th of May and it lasted until the 20th. And we'll just take a measurement here from the 18th. Price open to the low. Price dropped around 9.5–10% over the next 28 days. Now here we are, 2024. Bitcoin conference just happened. You had Trump speaking. Trump extremely pro-crypto. The whole thing looked like a corporate sellout event, right? All these weird ETF advertisements and all that stuff. Anyways, it happened, started on July 25th. And if we take a measurement here, July 25th to the low, price dropped 25%. Or we can take the measurement from the high of the last day of the conference over here on the 27th. And we can see that price dropped 30% from the time of the Bitcoin conference. So I should have seen this coming, but nonetheless, every single year, kind of without fail, the Bitcoin conference marks a local top. All right, so you cannot make it up. So that's just kind of another factor, another reason, if you will, on why this crash happened. Right? The market makers, the manipulators, they use the dates of the Bitcoin conference to go ahead and shake the weak hands out of their positions. Remember, hold on to your assets, folks. That is something that my grandfather used to say. May he rest in peace. And it's always stuck with me. Hold on to your assets, especially during times of capitulation. Literally the worst times to sell. And now one more thing while we're on the topic of, these crashes around the Bitcoin conference. Also, every 4 years we have the Bitcoin halving, and there's always some crazy volatility around the halving, whether it's just before or just after. We typically do see a crazy bull market flush out. And the most notable one in recent history was, of course, that March 2020 Black Swan event. But typically every 4 years around the halving, we do get some kind of flush out. And here it is, folks. Here it is right here. So now going ahead and moving on, for sure, this has been a very brutal, start to the week overall for crypto holders. However, like I said in the beginning of this video, I still don't think it changes anything in regards to our bull market here that, we've been expecting for quite a while to play out post Bitcoin halving this year. And the main thing is going to be the global liquidity cycle. And this is the yellow line, the global liquidity index. And you can ignore the Russell 2000 chart here, mainly focus on the yellow line here, the global liquidity index. And you can see that basically when this goes up, it's a direct correlation with Bitcoin, with risk on assets. All right, so the most recent time in history that the global liquidity index started to rise up was in October of 2023. And just to keep it short and sweet, we'll look at the overall market cap in the crypto market in October 2023. Well, what happened? You can clearly see here on the chart that October 2023 was the start of Bitcoin's expansion to new all-time highs. And also, when did this actually start to break down? Well, this thing started to really break down in March of this year. What happened in March of this year? Well, we actually peaked out right at the start of March. Lo and behold, here we are now. So this is a direct correlation. And as you can see, it's starting to curl up again. Now, markets are very dynamic. They are not black and white. So because this is starting to curl up doesn't necessarily mean we're going to see a crazy crypto pump right away. However, just know that the global liquidity cycle is completely intact. And there's really nothing to stress about on the macro, right? This drop here over the past 2-3 weeks is just as I said already in this video. It was caused by geopolitical tensions, and fundamentally nothing is changed. Now going ahead and moving on. So the market is also, or just the economy in general, expecting rate cuts. Here you have the probability of FOMC rate moves. Next FOMC will be in September, 42 days from now. And the market is pricing in a rate cut. All right, probabilities 100% ease. This is a very good thing because typically what happens is when the Fed cuts rates, usually it does cause some short-term pain, right? Economy kind of slows down, call it a recession. But what happens after that is they start to print money. They fire up the printers. And then from there, guess what? Think of 2020 when all that stimulus hit, right? When they start that stimmy back up, we see a risk-on bull market for commodities. All right, think of Bitcoin in 2020, 2021. So the same exact playbook is really starting to shape up right here. And there is a delay, like I said, right? They're going to start cutting rates most likely in September, right? The Fed is basically pricing in 100% chance of that happening. And then there's a bit of delay. Things slow down, right? Some short-term pain in the markets. But when they fire the stimmy back up, that's when we see the risk on bull market. And just with, the date of the next Fed meeting and everything in September, more likely than not, we see that kind of stimmy kick in early next year. All right. So really, again, hold on to your assets, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you here with this video. Nothing to be crazy stressed about. And for sure, there's a lot of short-term pain. Everybody's hurting, right? I mean, if you're in crypto, if you're a crypto investor, for sure, this took its toll. Especially if you bought assets this year, which I'm sure many of you watching did do just that. So I'm sure you're probably asking yourself, Connor, when are we going to see an altcoin season? Because altcoins have done nothing. Besides meme coins, altcoins have really done nothing all year long. When are we going to see an altcoin season? Is it even worth holding fundamental altcoins, or should we just go all in on memes? Well, when we will get an altcoin season, basically Bitcoin dominance is going to determine that. And Bitcoin dominance is currently breaking out above 57%. Now, if you go to my YouTube channel and you look at like my third video, I'm talking about the altcoin season in 2021. Back then, Bitcoin dominance was over here at 60%, and I was saying it was going to drop. And it did just that. Well, now Bitcoin dominance is coming back to 60%. All right? So we're going to kind of see, it's really odd how it's shaping up to be eerily similar to what happened last cycle here with Bitcoin dominance. But yeah, Bitcoin dominance coming up here. I see it topping out in this level between 60 and 63%. And the way that's shaping up, it's going to happen sometime between now and early next year, closer to early next year. But when we see Bitcoin dominance come into the 60%, 63% level, that's when altcoins will be crushed, right? Altcoins are going to continue to get crushed, basically. Bitcoin is going to outperform them for the most part. There will be outliers. But when we see Bitcoin dominance head up here to 60 to 63%, that's the time to get ready for the altcoin season. That's going to be the big moment that we are essentially waiting for. And from there, we see a Bitcoin dominance drop back here to 40% and below. Same thing what happened over here in 2021. Holding your fundamental altcoins is more likely than not going to pay off. However, you need to be in the right ones. All right, if you're holding old stuff from last cycle, there's a chance that it performs, but new stuff, especially some AI coins, Tau, for example, is really on track to absolutely crush it, especially because AI is just rapidly increasing the rate of advancement. And it's going to be a really exciting year, 2025, for AI as well. Tons of new updates across the board. And AI coins will go crazy next year. I'm a large believer in that. But anyways, when is your altcoin season going to happen? It's going to happen when Bitcoin dominance makes its way up here to 60 to 63% and then reverses out of that level back down here to 40%. When do I expect this to happen? Closer to early next year. Also, one more thing. Just to kind of show you that there's really no reason to be crazy stressed at the moment, is if you look at the USDT market cap on the weekly time frame, this is continuing to go up. All right, if this was going down, we should be very, very worried. When was the last time it really went down significantly? 2022, May to November 2022, when FTX crashed. All right, so again, these are all things that I'm looking at to come to the conclusion that we're still in a bull market. Yes, there's pain right now. Again, everybody's hurting. A lot of people got completely obliterated and wiped out. If you're still in the game, you really are doing better than most. It sounds cliche, but it's very true. But yeah, everything here, all the data that I'm showing you, all the data that I'm seeing tells me that we really do have nothing to fear. And you will be kicking yourself if you sell now. Not financial advice. That's what I truly do think, though. So anyways, lads, I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't want to make this too long, but I just wanted to show you what I'm seeing right now in this aftermath of a crazy volatile week. And it's still the month of August. And with that, I wouldn't be surprised to see some more summertime chop and, possibly if things get worse, 42K BTC. But again, I'm not selling. I didn't sell anything over the crash. And yeah, I'm expecting a crazy roaring bull market still for crypto. Again, this crash really was not crypto specific at all. It's all markets. Everything is still intact. So in this video, I discussed the state of the bull market in the wake of destruction of what we have seen over the past week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below your thoughts if you agree with me, if you disagree. I would love to hear your perspective. If you like the video, make sure you let me know by smashing that like button down below. And if you are brand new to Crypto Empire, be sure to smash that subscribe button down below and turn on all bell notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And my name is Connor from Crypto Empire. I'll see you in the next one.